Now let's meet tonight's starting lineup. First,
it is 5A Region 8 girls basketball here on Spanish Fork 17, and we are proud to present to you our Spanish Fork 17 game of the week between the visiting Wasatch Wasps and your Spanish Fork Lady Dons. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jake Arscott, alongside me, John Henstra, and we are proud to present to you basketball here on this chilly winter Utah evening. Both teams needing some momentum, to say the least, Spanish Fork and Wasatch, both in the bottom of League 8 standings, both needing some wins and some momentums. John, what are going to be the keys, starting with Spanish Fork, to get a victory tonight?
So Spanish Fork, they're just going to have to make sure that any depth that they do have on their roster, they come out strong off the bench. They're a pretty strong offensive team on the scoring side. However, working against this difficult Wasatch defense, you're going to have to figure things out early on in the game as far as scoring goes against these guys who really just have such a lockdown defense.
Exactly. Wasatch also, like you said, good defense. They're also very good at distributing the ball, it seems, getting the ball to different scorers. Spanish Fork, they put up offensive numbers, just haven't had a lot going for them this year either. For Wasatch, on the other side, difficult game on the road in conference play. What's going to be the key for them to get this big win, even though Spanish Fork has struggled this year?
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be key for Wasatch to come out of the gate defensive as they've done before so many times. We've definitely seen them put up the defensive stats that they need to beat this Spanish Fork team, but most importantly, when they're playing without the home field advantage, they're just going to have to keep cool heads throughout the game and see what they can put together on the offensive side as well.
So they're just announcing starting lineups here. We're about to get set and get underway between both these teams. A little bit of background between both squads. Wasatch on the year currently 6-9 overall, 4-5 in League Region 8 play. On the other side, again, Spanish Fork 2-12 on the year, 2-6 in region play. They did have a couple of wins a couple weeks back to build some momentum. They did beat Provo, but again, just has been a struggle overall for the Dons. But again, every game counts. League 8 play, anything can happen. They're always competitive games. So we'll see what the Dons can do here at home. And we're about to get this one tipped off here.
Yeah, absolutely. On paper, this looks like a pretty even matchup between Spanish Fork and Wasatch. And as we're going to the tip-off here, I'm looking out across the floor, and I don't really see anybody who, stands at 7 feet tall. And, that'd be entertaining for a high school game. But on paper, things look pretty good.
Yeah, too bad. I was 5'11", so nothing really to brag about as this one goes underway. Wasatch gets the opening tip here, and they quickly move it around here, down low in the paint. That one is deflected, and it'll be Wasatch ball off the leg of Avery Critchfield for Spanish Fork.
Yeah, already we see here that Spanish Fork, it looks like they're actually going into a zone defense. They're not doing man. That's good. They'll get them some coverage, but they're also giving up some of these opportunities for, it looks like Wasatch has some post players that might take an early on advantage, are already going up and trying to get dominance underneath as we try to see him put up a ball right there, and they're going to call that a travel.
A good defensive possession, though. Spanish Fork overall holds strong there on the first possession. That was Sierra who got called for the travel for Wasatch. Looks like we have a player with their shoe untied here. That is Rachel Heath, number 4. So Dons will get their first possession here on offense. And they'll throw it into number 2 for the Dons, Lemenik, and it'll be Emily Olsen swinging it around to Sullivan. Back to Olsen. Now to Kayla Clark, one of the key contributors on this team. That one's thrown in the post and stolen away. Quick turnover by the Dons on offense.
Yeah, it looks like early on Spanish Fork's going to be heavily relying on that perimeter play. They were definitely working around, bringing up the high post and trying to get some help at that position, but when it was launched into the post underneath the basket, they just couldn't get into the hands.
Good zone defense again by the Dons. The Wasps will reset here. Down low in the post. Hesitating and throwing it up there is Noyce for the 2, and the Wasps are on the board. On the other side, Lemenek throws it over to Sullivan on the left side. Back over to Lemenek. She'll throw it down to Olsen. Lemenek, one of the key players on his team, averaging over 10 points a game. Another turnover, though, by Spanish Fork. Wasps will bring it up. It'll be Kinsley Schultz, number 5, the 5'4" junior. Good movement by the Wasps here. Open 3 attempt, and that one's off back iron from Schultz, but an offensive rebound by the Wasps.
Yeah, that's a fantastic wide open look as they try to take another one, almost travel it. That's going to be a key this game where Spanish Fork is trying to work that zone defense, and they're going to play a little bit tight and maybe not get defenders up to the top of the key and the top of the 3 in time to be able to block some of those long shots. So definitely a good job on the ball movement like we were talking about with Wasatch.
Yeah, and that'll be a key, especially against the zone. If the zone's been set up the way Spanish Fork has, it's been pretty stout. Key is definitely getting it into the right spots here as there's an open shot off the back rim. Another rebound, though, by Wasatch. Thrown over across court. Good ball movement again. This is Pulsifer throwing it over to Heath. Back to Schultz, back to Heath again. That 3 is way off, but an offensive rebound and another putback. And another rebound by the Wasps. It's Grace Wonder. Number 22 for the Wasps. Spanish Fork playing zone but not getting really any rebounding. And there's a quick foul called on the Wasps. Foul's going to be on number 22, Grace Wonder. By the way, we don't have a scoreboard currently graphic up. We likely won't for the game. Currently score 4-0, and we'll just try and keep you updated as the game goes along. About 5:22 left here in the first quarter. There's a shot attempt up by the Dons, goes off the side of the rim, no good. Rebound down to Wasatch, and they'll bring it across the timeline. It'll be Schultz. Swing it over to Wonder. Again, ball movement really good by Wasatch here, John.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they really know how to use this high post position as they're, and they've definitely seen a lot of success already early in the game from underneath in the post positions. That's something we were talking about earlier where they're trying to draw these players out to the 3-point line. They're getting wide open looks as Spanish Fork's able to sink one there. That's number 11 for Spanish Fork, Maddie Sullivan. And yeah, we just really need to see if Spanish Fork's going to be able to lock down that post position.
And there's a bad pass there, and it's going to be an over and back violation on the Wasps. So Sullivan hits the first triple for the Dons. Score is 6-3, Wasatch leading. 4:28 left in the first quarter here. Still early, and Lemenek will throw it over to Olsen on the left side of the court here. Down in the deep corner again, it's Sullivan, no good. Good offensive rebound there by Lemenek, and she's fouled. And is going to have a chance to go to the line for 2. For the first time tonight, the Dons will be at the stripe.
And that's also the first time that the Dons have collected a offensive rebound, and that's definitely something they're going to have to turn up throughout this game if they're going to be able to compete with Wasatch, who already has 4 offensive rebounds.
Number 2, Jason Roman, shooting 2.
Lennox's first one is good, averaging 11.3 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, or 4.7 rebounds, I should say, per game. Also averaging about half a steal as well. By and far the best scorer on the team as she clanks the second one, no good. Rebound down to Wasatch.
You see another wide open look just at the baseline there. I wouldn't be surprised if Spanish Fork takes a timeout in just a second here to feel out how they're going to be able to lock that down.
Exactly, that high post is wide open. Katie Perry there, number 31, hitting the jumper from the free throw line. Dawn struggling a bit defensively here. Good scramble by Wasatch. Dribbling into traffic there is Wasatch.
Looks like a whistle came off out onto the court there.
Right, and substitutions come in early. A couple of players on both teams coming out. Inbound comes in here. Open shot for the Dons. Airballed. No good. That was Cali Johnson on the attempt. Wasatch brings it across the other side of the timeline. Again to the high post they go. Over the right side, this is Elizabeth Anthony down low in the post. And with the turnaround shot down on the low block, it's Chiara Sere.
Now, that is absolutely not an easy shot. If they're going to be able to keep up shots like that the whole game, Spanish Fork's definitely going to have to figure out a way to defend that post position and maybe just not let the ball get in there in the first place instead of trying to defend the ball and maybe turning into a foul. So.
Right on point, Wasatch has had their way with the high post and the low post as well. That's another shot down low in the post. Ball swinging around here. Again on the high post, Wasatch gets their way. Another pass, another shot, and that's going to be an and one for Seri, who is having her way on the low block. And Wasatch is already up here 12-4 with 2:40 left in the first. It's been all Was.
Yeah, Spanish Fork, that's one thing that's the trade-off they're going to have to take with this zone defense is that's the exact same move where it gets into the high post, flipped underneath to the open post player sitting right there on the block. So that is one thing they're sacrificing with this 2-3 zone, trying to guard the perimeter with the far side zone player. They lose a man on the baseline, or a woman on the baseline.
You're good. It's Kayla Clark there who will be at the line off the offensive rebound. Good effort from Clark. The shooting, though, Spanish Fork taking a lot of threes here early on and not connecting. That one's good from Clark. Score again 13-5. Substitutions coming on here. It'll be number 32, Casey Anderson, in for Spanish Fork, and on Wasatch's side, Rachel Noyce will come in. Already seen a lot of substitutions from the Was early on here. Second one is good for Kayla Clark. Score here 13-6. Wasatch leading here, again swinging it around. This is an open three-shot rimming out for Wasatch. Rebound comes down to Lemenek, who fights for it, and she'll take it up the timeline. In the front court here, down low in the post, and another foul. And a quick shot attempt by the Dons. That was Casey Anderson. Wasatch already with their fourth foul. One away from the bonus. I apologize, that's NBA rules, isn't it? I think they're a few away, but nevertheless, early foul trouble for Wasatch. It's easy to get confused with the rules. It's always changing, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we've seen Spanish Fork be pretty successful from the free throw line early in the game here, and that's going to be another key if they're going to seal that gap back to the lead. It's just, seeing those free throw shots as she drops the second one there.
Good observation there. 4 points quickly from the foul line here, and they've closed the gap now. It's 13-8. Wasatch leading. We're under 2 minutes left here in the first. Shot attempt there is no good from Wasatch, who have missed their last couple. Dons are pushing here.
That's really good court vision.
Could have been a travel as well there on Johnson, but nonetheless, they get the ball back. There's a shot off the bank, no good. Another rebound by Anderson. Wide open shot there is good from Sullivan on the left side. Good movement, good vision, like you mentioned, set up that basket.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think the key there, even before the basket came in, was just the 2 offensive rebounds that Spanish Fork was able to bring off in the last couple of minutes here in the last 2 plays. So that's going to be another key, is making sure they come down with the ball a couple more times off the glass.
And the zone now starting to take effect, as Wasatch misses another jumper there. Wasatch playing in a zone of sorts as well here. So seeing a lot of 2-3 early on. This one swung down to the corner, wide open. 3 is good from Cali Johnson, and we are all tied up here with under a minute to go in the first. Dons with a big run here. It's now 13 square. Wasatch moving it around, struggling to really get it back in the post.
one thing we talked about a little bit earlier is Wasatch trying to make sure that they, without the home field advantage here, they're going to have to do everything to just keep their heads in the game, right? The fans are definitely in support of these Spanish Fork girl Dons, and yeah, right now it's really just been a head game for about the past 2 minutes, as Wasatch hasn't been able to purchase anything in the basket.
Yeah, nothing close either. It's been all jumpers for the Wasps, and as you mentioned, good crowd on hand for the Lady Dons here. About 27 seconds left here. Wide open shot for Wasatch is short, and a rebound to the Dons, and they'll have a chance to take the lead here at the final possession of the first quarter. They'll move it up quickly, and a potential travel turns into a turnover there. Wasatch is going to take it right back. About 10 seconds left here.
Yeah, we've already seen a little bit of leniency on what could have been these potential travels here, but
Price takes a wild shot, and that goes way off. And that will mark the end of the first quarter. So after one, we're all square. Dons with a big run here is 13 apiece, and we will be back with the second quarter here on Spanish Fork 17.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport: paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Need a new car or truck? Come to the guys you trust. The Car Guys are part of the Blue Diamond Auto Group, and they have the best selection of quality vehicles at the best prices for your budget. The Blue Diamond Auto Group with the Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Back here in the second quarter on Spanish Fork 17, score is 13 apiece. Dons with a big run to close out the first quarter, and they will have the ball to start the second. What are some big takeaways from the first quarter, John?
So we saw Wasatch come out very successfully in the first quarter, playing that low post position. They were able to convert off a couple of plays, and Spanish Fork actually found a really good way to shut that down. They didn't let the ball get into the post position, so the key for them is going to be creating a lot of defensive turnovers like they do right there. And additionally, some of those wide open shots, they're going to have to, as a charge is called, it looks like, they're just going to have to get their head back in the game a little bit and overcome that run that Spanish Fork was able to go do on them at the end of the first quarter there.
Again, like you mentioned at the start of the game, Wasatch, a team that doesn't score a ton, but they pride themselves on defense. So certainly if they can't get it going offensively, they can do it defensively. They got a turnover to start, but then a really charge call there. Dons seem to have the momentum here in this second quarter. This is Clark with the three off the back iron. Rebound comes down to Anderson, who's been a monster on the boards, and that's another big shot. Cali Johnson, who's hit a couple already here.
Yeah,
in the
absolutely.
first half.
That puts her at 5 for the game so far, and we've seen her just be very consistent, especially with that mid-range jumper. I think that's the second one she's taken that near vicinity, and as Wasatch fires one up that's just long.
A good board there by Wonder, though. We'll get another chance at it. Wonder will take it over and swing it around. Schultz. They'd love to move the ball around. They try and get in the high post. That's a deflection and a turnover there. Cali Johnson will take it.
Now what Wasatch just did is I'd call indecisive ball movement. The ball went back and forth to the same two players before they decide to fork it inside, and that's where the turnover was created. So good job on Spanish Fork just getting their heads a little bit and locking down on the defensive side.
A good shot fake there, and again, Anderson, she misses. But she's had a few offensive boards already. She's been a monster on that end. Can't convert that time, though. Wasatch will take it. Wasp struggling to get in the post. They'd finally do this time, but they throw it away. Nobody home. I think Noyce was expecting a cutter on the wing. Nothing going. Wasatch is going to take a timeout, though, to talk things over.
Yeah, we really can't blame them. At this point, at the early start of the second quarter, they've definitely seen a couple turnovers, haven't been able to convert one. So we'll see what they come out of the what they come out of the timeout with.
And while they're taking a timeout, we'll take a second here on Spanish Fork 17 to thank our sponsors, the Lance Wilson State Farm, the Car Guys at Blue Diamond Auto Group, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Two Jacks Pizza, the Driggs Mortgage Team, and the attorneys at law, Mikkel Thompson and Hunter. So it's been all Dons in the last however many minutes or so of this half. Spanish Fork really rolling here. Score 16-13, 6:18 left in the second. Again, we'll keep you updated with scores as we don't currently have a graphic, but we'll try and give you live statistics and scores as they come. Dons swing it around here. It's Clark. She'll try and get in the post. No cigar. They'll try again, and they'll swing it around. Open three. Banks it in, and that is Maddie Sullivan. And the Dons are starting to get something going here. Shots are really coming down.
Yeah, absolutely. We almost didn't expect this. We were talking about the Dons being a little bit reliant on the strength of the depth in their bench. However, they've definitely put up some impressive numbers over the past couple of minutes, and that's going to give them a big boost as they bring off some of these fresh sets of lungs off the bench later on in the game. So that's absolutely a huge key that they've been able to convert over the past couple minutes.
Fouls on 32.
So Anderson called for the shooting foul, and that'll put Noyce on the line. Wasatch really hasn't gotten anything going for a while now. Finally get a point on the board after a while. Big scoring drought there. Wasps get one, and they're going to take another quick timeout here.
Wasatch, 30-second timeout.
And the Wasatch is going to take a 30-second here, so it won't be that long. But score 19-14. Spanish Fork really rolling here. Wasatch really struggling to get things going offensively. One thing that's interesting to point out as well is Spanish Fork is not afraid to take shots on the outside on the perimeter. They took a lot of shots in the first quarter. Nothing really falling, but they've stuck with it. And as you mentioned, they started really getting shots to fall, and they're really been impressive getting offensive production out of their bench and out of their starters. And
even before the shot takes place, one of the most important things that Spanish Fork has really been able to capitalize on is getting those open looks from the outside, because the first quarter of the game, they had a couple shots that were really just wild, difficult shots. They were taking jumpers from the three-point line that really just weren't open looks. So they've had a little bit better ball movement. They understand the rhythm of this Wasatch defense and are first getting those open looks and then able to convert.
Dons swing it around. It's Clark this time for a three, and that one's no good. Ball deflected, though. Dons get the deflection. Well, everything breaking Spanish Fork's way right now. Down low is Anderson. Spin around. Blocked there by Sierra. She'll take it up court. Clark on her, and she'll pull it up, and they'll set up the offense. Good defensive play there.
Yeah, that's a really good block. I don't even know if she came off her feet. Did she even jump? But, yeah, that's one thing we haven't seen is Spanish Fork being very successful from this post position with some really good post defenders and post offense as well. I think their game right now is definitely going to have to stay in the perimeter with their big scores like Maddie Sullivan and Cali Johnson.
And Johnson's been impressive in this first half. There's a drive by Lemenick. She goes down awkwardly. Wasatch has an advantage here, but they're going to pull up. They had 5-on-3 for a second there. They'll just swing it around again. Not really getting deep into the post. Don's playing good zone defense here, and they have been for pretty much all the first half.
That was a really good spin move right there to get a somewhat open look underneath. And number 34 for Wasatch, that's Noyce.
Yeah, Rachel Noyce
is fouled at the baseline.
Fouls on number 32.
She's going to take two.
And Anderson picks up another foul here.
Noyce at the line shooting for Wasatch.
Noyce last time one of two from the line. She clanks another one here. Score 19-14, Spanish Fork leading. Dons on the year 2-12 overall. However, they did have a couple of wins a week or two back against Payson and Provo as that one rattles in.
And fortunately, their wins have been league wins, so they're 2 for 6 in the league. That definitely gives them a little advantage in the standings.
And like you mentioned, John, ultimately that's what matters most. As you see a big bucket there. That's Lemenick, who hits the jumper from the free throw corner. From the elbow. Dons extend their lead here. It's 21-15. 4:05, we're at the halfway mark of the second quarter. Wasatch swinging it around. They try and get it in the post again. Double team this time. There's an open jumper for Wasatch that doesn't fall. Rebound to Noyce again. Noyce in the post. That one no good. A couple of Dons converge on it, and another good defensive stand by Spanish Fork. Across the timeline we go. Over the right side, Clark, she'll throw it in the post. Anderson will try and work. She gets her shot blocked again by Noyce. Ball on the ground, Lemenick, and she seemed to have been shaken, but she gets up, and it'll be a turnover off the jump ball. Wasatch will now platoon swap, it seems.
Now Wasatch already had 2 blocks when they average out at 2.1, so this is definitely this game. If they're able to get one in the second half or into the first, it's going to be able to help their block numbers. But yeah, every time they get it into the post position, Spanish Fork just has not been able to put anything up off that as they get a good jumper off the baseline. That's number 11 for Wasatch, Elizabeth Anthony.
Yeah, that kind of ends a scoring drought, it seems, at least from field goal regulation. Wass will try and get a run going. They're down by 4 here. 21-17 the score.
So at the end of the first quarter, it's kind of been a drought for this whole second quarter because we're at 16-13, and Spanish Fork's been able to put up 5, where Wasatch has only been able to put up 4 points on the board. Most of those off, or at least 2 of those off free throw shots.
Yeah, that you're right. 4 points in 6, or if I should say 5 minutes. 2:50 to go here. Fans getting into it here. Don's trying to get another one going. Anderson kicks it out. Open shot. And that one rattles off, no good. Rebound goes right back to Olsen. She'll try second attempt, third attempt, fourth attempt, no good. Good hustle, but she couldn't get it to fall. Rebound goes down to Sari. Pulsifer throws it over to Schultz. Schultz will take it. Back again to Pulsifer in the high post. Sari banks it off the window and in.
Yeah, that's not an easy start, especially how heavily guarded Sierra was. So, and again, if Wasatch can get some things rolling as they get a good steal there, she just jumped the pass and then was fouled after that. That's number 35, Sierra, who's been dominant at that post position.
Yeah, and Anderson quickly will come out. That's her 3rd foul already in the half.
Fouls on 32, Casey Anderson.
And Sari with a couple of good possessions gets the bucket, gets the steal on the other end. We'll see what Wasatch can do with it. That was an open 3, and it's no good by Pulsifer. Rebound down to the Dons. Johnson will try and take it up. She's going to throw it over to Lemenick, though. Cross-court pass here. Olsen, she'll try and dribble and take it. That one's off the window, no good. Rebound down to Clark, and the deflection will go out of bounds. It'll stay with the Dons. They've been hungry on the offensive boards, John, and it's paid off.
Absolutely, and they're definitely happy about that call staying on their side. It is inbounded out to a 3, and then at the high post position. They've just had so many open looks this second quarter. Now this is interesting. Wasatch, it looks like they're playing a form of box in one now. They have the one chaser on Wasatch's side. That's Kinsley Schultz, who's guarding number 11 for Spanish Fork, Maddie Sullivan, who came out with 8 points and was the strongest scorer. So we'll see if that method works out for them. They're just going back and forth, back and forth.
Well, it seemed to have paid off. There's another block, and this time by Sari. Wasatch is going to take it up court. Score 21-19. We have less than a minute left in the first half. Sari on the post. She's got space. Off the window. Rims out. Rebound down to Johnson. Dons pull it up here. 42 seconds and ticking in the first half. Dons will take their time again. A little bit of a defensive switch up for the Wasps. Under 30 seconds left here. Clark up top. Dons really in no hurry here. They'll settle for the final possession, it seems. Open opportunity there. Olsen hesitates. Clark over to Olsen. Olsen over to Clark. She's going to take the 3, and that one's off the back rim. Rebound and a collision there between, I believe it was Sari and Olsen. Ball is going to stay with Spanish Fork in just about 3 seconds left here, so they're going to have to be quick, and it's going to be on the baseline, actually. We'll bring in a sub here on defense. Noyce will come in for Sari. Three seconds left here. They'll try and get it in the post deflection. Olsen shot up and no good by Sullivan. That's going to end the first half.
I can't believe there might have been a delay in the clock there. I just can't believe they were able to get that shot off in time, but it's definitely been an exciting first half.
Yeah, indeed. It has been exciting. 21-19 the score. Don's leading by 2 at the break, and we are going to go to halftime here, and we'll take a break ourselves, and we'll be right back on Spanish Fork 17.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if you do, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Call McKell, Thompson, and Hunter, 801-798-9000.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
The she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, I'm Greg with the Driggs Mortgage team, where we believe there's no substitute for experience. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
All right, it's halftime here on Spanish Fork 17. Score is 21-19. Don's currently leading over the Wasatch Wasps in this 5A League 8 play. Don started off slow, didn't really get a lot of shots going from the perimeter. Wasatch started off pretty quickly, and it seemed for a bit in the first quarter that Wasatch was going to take off with this one. The Dons really locked down defensively and seemed to get things turned around. And John, what really turned things around for Spanish Fork? What got them back into this game and with the lead?
Well, you know, when a team gets hot, they get hot, right? And Spanish Fork definitely got hot for a second. They went on a 6-0 scoring streak. And after that, it's just been definitely a mental game for the Wasps, who haven't been able to really find any purchase from where they're being very successful early on in the game at that post position. Yeah, and like we mentioned, not really seeing a lot of opportunities in the high post or low post either. Spanish Fork's done a good job at locking down. As you see the Region 8 standings, of course, Springville 9-0 at the top. They seem to be running away with this one at the moment. Wasatch, though, still in the thick of things. They're 4-5 in conference play, and this would be a much-needed win for them. Spanish Fork, as you see, in 7th place at 2-6. Again, 2 of those wins in conference play to Payson and Provo a couple weeks back. So Dons could have a little bit of a thing going here, and of course they're not so far out of it that they can't make a run and get themselves poised for potential tournament play or postseason implications. And there's still 4 games left to go. Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's what they're chasing right now. They've definitely come into this game strong. I don't think they've let any numbers or any statistics deter them. We've definitely seen them hold their own during this game. So,
well, they've done a great job in the second quarter, kind of holding things strong. It'll be a matter of time, though, on the second half, see if they can close things out. Again, Wasatch, a good team defensively, so we'll see if Spanish Fork can keep up their offensive scoring. A couple of players to kind of point out. One on the Wasatch, or on the Spanish Fork end, I should say, number 32, Casey Anderson, was a monster on the offensive boards, had about 3 or 4 offensive boards that I remember in the first half. And I think really brought a change of energy. Another player as well, Cali Johnson, number 10, hitting a couple of key shots, a couple of standouts for the Dons for sure. And it's good to see that, especially when you have a player like Lemenick who leads the team in points. We saw a lot of production from other players besides her. She was kind of quiet in the first half, but the Dons were able to get production from most of their players and really players off the bench and starting as well. It was a team effort.
Absolutely, and I think they just about surprised everyone here with how many points they had, not only off the bench, but they were able to get from the outside early on in that second quarter. Slowed down a little bit later in the third quarter, but another player to point out, number 11 for Spanish Fork, that's Maddie Sullivan. She's able to get 8 points, mostly from the perimeter, and I think she put in 2 free throws, if I can remember right. So one thing that's interesting to point out is Spanish Fork and Wasatch, not really a lot of bad blood here. It's been a pretty clean game as far as fouls go, and we're only really at this point seeing one player that's in foul trouble, and that's with Spanish Fork.
Yeah, that was Anderson who picked up a few fouls on the defensive side. The other side with Wasatch, a couple players standing out. Of course, Rachel Noyce and Chiara Seri, both 6'1" juniors. They were both pretty stout on the defensive end, had a few blocks in between them, a few deflections, turnovers. You can kind of see why Wasatch kind of prides themselves on defensive play.
Yeah, absolutely. And 2 other players that we saw early on in the first quarter, that's Elizabeth Anthony and Grace Wonder, who were able to turn over a couple points there and really got things going for the Wasps at the very beginning. And they've quieted down a little bit as the game has gone on, as has the whole Wasatch team. So we'll see what they're able to bring out in the beginning of the third quarter.
Yeah, that indeed. So score again, 21-19 at the half. And we will take a quick break here, and we will come back with the start of the second half. We will be right back here on Spanish Fork 17.
Need a new car or truck? Come to the guys you trust. The Car Guys are part of the Blue Diamond Auto Group, and they have the best selection of quality vehicles at the best prices for your budget. The Blue Diamond Auto Group with the Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, I'm Greg with the Driggs Mortgage team, where we believe there's no substitute for experience. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport: paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
The she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if you do, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Call McKell, Thompson, and Hunter, 801-798-9000.
Back here on Spanish Fork 17, again, score at halftime 21-19. We're about a couple minutes away from starting the second half. Teams just came out of the locker rooms a few minutes ago to warm up. And Spanish Fork hoping to get a good key win here at home against a talented Wasatch team, and team that currently in league play is 4-5, hoping to get back to 500. And as we mentioned earlier, Dawn's looking to build some momentum here after being 2-6 in conference play. Good overall effort by both squads. Again, we hope you're staying warm. It's a snowy, cold night here in Utah. And of course, we could use it. It's been a pretty dry winter, so.
Absolutely, we enjoy any precipitation, even snow. I'd say even snow is better than cold rain. That's for sure.
No, I'd agree. I mean, it's kind of odd having a winter and you don't really see any snow at all. And unfortunately, for the skiers, it's not fun. But
yeah, it's definitely a gray Christmas, not a white Christmas this year. Glad to get a little bit of snow now. Hopefully some of it sticks. One thing that has been really interesting this game is we saw Wasatch coming into this game pretty dominant on the boards, and they were definitely dominant at the post position, but as far as offensive rebounds go, Spanish Fork has really been able to just get away with them. The second quarter, they were completely dominant on the offensive glass.
It's a good observation. They were, and Wasatch on the offensive side was for the first quarter, really just kind of lost things after the momentum kind of shifted over to the Dons. We'll see how things go here in the second half. We'll see what adjustments are made here on the girls' side, or on the Wasatch girls' side by Coach Hayter. It's Coach Norman Hayter for Wasatch and Coach Alyssa Larson for the Dons. We'll see how both teams come out. Dons will start off the second half with the ball.
Now, it looks like Coach Larson for the Dons has just had a really good strategy throughout this game, made the necessary adjustments to get some momentum going for the Dons. We'll see what strategy continues to work in the second half, but Wasatch was definitely able to shut them down defensively at the end of the first half there. They had the box-and-one defense going. It looks like they're not defaulting to that now.
They don't, but they try and play straight up on the post, and that's going to be a foul on Sari. It looked like she got it clean, but the official on the baseline calls the foul.
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly the foul's on there. It looks like that was all ball, maybe a little bit of arm, but whatever it was, I definitely didn't see it from up here in the booth.
I think they called it on Noyce instead of
was
Sari.
it?
Yeah, it looked like Sari, though, was the one on the block, but you give it to Noyce. It's her
so this is off the ball.
And I called off-ball foul here, and at the line it's Critchfield. She missed the first and gets the second to go. So Dons open up the second half scoring. 22-19 here. The Wasps take it up to the front court. Try and get some form of offense going. They really struggled in the second with that, and that'll definitely help there. Good shot by Noyce. Both Noyce and Sari have been excellent for the Wasps in this one. Another offensive rebound, though, by the Dons. The Wasps have really struggled, as we mentioned, on the defensive boards here. Critchfield over to the elbow. That's a deflection, Clark, and that's going to go to the Wasps.
It almost looked like she grappled with her arms a little bit, and the coach over here for the Dons is definitely not satisfied with that call.
Yeah, Coach Larson, you can see there asking for a deflection there. Wasps dribble up at the timeline. Clark defending there. Quick double, and that's going to be a foul. Offensive foul, it looks like.
And they're going to call that a charge because you just cannot go down the baseline like that with your head down. Keep your head up. Let them stick the hips out into you, but if you go in with your heads down like a bull on a charge, that's definitely going to get called on the offensive side.
There's a quick three off the back iron, no good. Rebound down to Sari. They'll try and push it up court. Heath almost turns it over there. Get over to Schultz in the middle. Again, it's a 2-3 zone, it looks like, for the Dons. Another pass into traffic, and that one's going to be turned over. They have just not had that low post open for quite some time now. Yeah, there's an open three, and that is Olsen.
Oh, what a shot, especially at such a critical time. They're trying to get some momentum going in the second half, as both teams have been pretty consistent. That's one thing that we've definitely seen Wasatch struggle with, is being able to, they did a really good job at the end of the second half when they're going in, or second quarter when they're going into the box and one, but they really need to get out and defend that perimeter ball, or else, the Dons are just going to be able to capitalize off that all night long.
It has been all Dons for quite some time now. Ball swung around over to Schultz. Down to Sari. That one's deflected. That one intercepted there by Clark, and they're going to get the foul, and it's going to be on Heath. Another quick foul for Wasatch, another turnover.
No, that's a clear foul, but that's not a bad foul. They had a 2-on-1 situation, a breakaway situation. I think that's the right call there, even though she's going to have to go to the bench. Just a tremendous defensive effort by Rachel Heath.
Well, Heath, that's her third, so although it may have been a necessary foul, that one is going to affect their offense here as Clark hits an open jumper at the elbow. Dons are rolling right now. It's 27-21, and they have a 6-point lead here, probably their largest of the game.
Yeah, and that's just such a pretty-looking shot. That's not an easy shot, and their coach is definitely upset that that wasn't a travel right there.
Wow, big shot there.
Absolutely.
Sari drills it at the elbow, and she's going to go to the line. That's an and one.
Yeah, pull-up jumper on both sides of the floor here, and the Wasps definitely needed it, but a good 15-foot jumper on Spanish Fork side, and the Wasps decide to say we'll match that jumper with another 15-footer and an and one, which they airball off of.
So the Wasps can't convert there. Lemenick will take it up, though, for the Dons here. 5:16 left. They swing it around. Dons up by 4. There's another three off the back rim, no good. Rebound comes down to Noyce. It's a scramble. Noyce rolls over, and they are going to call a jump ball. And Wasp will take possession. Well, it seemed pretty physical there. I think Coach for Wasatch calling for a foul there. It's Coach Hayter. Wasp down 4 here. Nothing going. Another pass almost deflected, and this time it will be a foul. Sullivan a little too aggressive trying to intercept that one.
Yeah, it's good to jump a pass like that, but when it fumbles around and she decides to chase it down the way she did, that's a pretty good call for the ref there.
Second team foul.
Yeah, you like the mindset, but just a little bit too much there. Dons, though, you have to give credit to their defense. They have been excellent at kind of disrupting the Wasatch flow. Again, another deflection. Over to the elbow, open jumper, no good.
That's really one of the first times I've seen it get to the baseline clears. They're throwing some elbows there, but this whole second half, they've really struggled. Wasatch has struggled getting it into the baseline, and that's the first time they're able to come down the baseline and get it to the post on the far block.
And quick deflection and timeout called by Spanish Fork there. It seemed like Olsen kind of dribbled into some trouble.
Yeah,
so
a very, very tactical timeout, and also good time. The momentum has kind of slowed down a little bit, so the coach is going to get them in that timeout and see if they can pick up the momentum a tiny bit.
All right, again, while we're taking the timeout, I'd like to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17. And Spanish Fork would like to thank Lance Wilson at State Farm, Car Guys at Blue Diamond Auto Group, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Two Jacks Pizza, Driggs Mortgage Team, and the attorneys at law, McKell Thompson and Hunter. So we're almost halfway through the third quarter. Score is 27-23. Dons holding on to a 4-point lead. It's been an exciting one so far.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be, I mean, we've just seen two very, very dynamic defenses that have responded well to the perimeter threats of the Dons that they exemplified in the first half, and also the post threat of Wasatch that they had in the first quarter. So it's been a mostly defensive game so far, but Springville already looking like they may increase their average points per game as there's a good open jumper at the free throw line, at the foul line.
There's another offensive rebound and a good effort by Johnson, but they're going to call a travel, and there'll be a turnover to the Wasps again. Offensive rebounding has just been such a strength for the Dons tonight against Wasatch.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, all the times they've been able to convert off an offensive rebound has almost been a game changer for them.
And on the defensive end, they get a turnover here. Pulling up is Johnson over to the left side, Lemenick.
That was a very good deflection on the defensive side by Clark as number 22 for the Wasps able to get one of their own.
There's Grace Wonder with the block there. Oh, another near interception there by Clark. They do get in the post, though, and Can't convert his Noyce. She tries to get it up again. And we're going to get another jump ball. Things getting a little physical there. Good scrap for the ball. It's going to go to Spanish Fork.
Now, really good job at getting the look at the post position. That's the second time or third time this quarter. And that's number 34 for the Wasps, Rachel Noyce.
With things heating up between these two teams, it's been close the majority of the game here. Lemenick will bring it up. Nobody to throw it to. She picks up her dribble a little early. Clark over to Lemenick. They haven't really spoke of Lemenick much in this game on the offensive side. Clark throws it over. That's Critchfield who gets the bank, and she'll get 2. Dawn's up by 6 now with about 3 minutes to go. Almost another near turnover. Good pressure on the defensive end. Heath will take it up over to Pulsifer. And Wasatch is going to take a break.
Yeah, you're seeing Wasatch, when they use this high post position, they really spread out their perimeter offense, so they don't have 4 people up. They actually have a low post player, a high post player, and 3 people around the perimeter, 1 each corner. And that's actually caused quite a few turnovers for the Wasps, as the Dons have been able to jump out and jump some of those passes and create some fast break turnover situations.
Yeah, that's a good point. You notice that the Dons have been a lot more aggressive, too, on the wings trying to intercept these passes. They definitely have the belief that they can get some easy turnovers and potential fast break buckets as well. Wasatch, after starting off hot, has really struggled to get anything going here. Aside from Noyce and Sari on the offensive boards, it's really been a struggle for the Wasps.
Yeah, it's still a 2-possession game, but with the rate that the Dons are going at, I'd be surprised if Wasatch is able to put something together coming out of this timeout.
Well, we started off the first quarter with 13, and for the last quarter and a half, they've had 10. Things not really going their way, and that one a deflection. And it'll stay with Wasatch. That was Anthony who just dribbled into traffic, it seems.
Yeah, and she actually came in looking for Ava on the far side, and that's something that they found to be, as they're able to sink one there from the post position. That's something that they've really found to be successful, is when they actually take the baseline on the offensive side. They get a nice little drop pass into the post position on the far block, and they've really been able to put some good stuff together, and that's a good open shot, and it's just short.
Just a bit short, but...
Well, maybe not just short. A little short, but collected it on the far side, and the Wasps will bring it down the court.
Needed a little bit more gusto there. Nonetheless, Wasatch will take it. Score 29-25 here, 2:21 left in the third. Open shot here by Pulsifer is no good. Rebound comes down to Lemenick. She'll bring it up the timeline, throw it over to Clark. Good ball movement again from the Dons. Lemenick this time is going to take a 3, and she drills it. That's Lemenick's first 3 of the game. She has 7 on the night. Dons leading by 7. 32-25, and that's going to be a turnover. Spanish Fork will get it right back. Crowd loving it.
Yeah, absolutely. Lemenick, I mean, she's usually the high roller for this team. She's able to sink her first 3 ball. I think that'll do wonders for the Spanish Fork team, who's struggled a little bit coming out in the third quarter, but they definitely have been consistent. Now we'll see if they can get really hot here as they actually turn that one over to the Wasps. Good defense there.
Bring it up is Heath. Over to the right side is Wonder. Down low. Swing it around again. Anthony. Almost a turnover there, and near turnover. They're going to keep it with Wasatch. Clark was looking to pounce. Just a little bit of sloppy ball handling and passing by Wasatch in this half. This one over to Wonder. Over to Heath. They still are trying to figure out this zone of the Spanish Forks. They're going to take a 3 this time, and that one no good from Heath. They'll throw it ahead. Dawn swing it. Clark over to Lemenick. You can tell the ball movement is crisp with Spanish Fork in this half.
Yeah, absolutely. It took them a second to get it figured out early on in the game as they launched the ball over to the baseline there, and there's an open player in the corner. They just don't see him. That's a very good steal. Good hands by the Wasps there as they come charging down the court. try to wing it up.
Well, that was some good agility there by Wonder, taking the sidestep, drawing contact, and that's going to be a blocking foul, and she's going to go to the line for 2.
Her first 13 foul.
That was one of the first fast break possessions we've seen in a while from both teams, actually.
That's absolutely true, and that might be the first one that you'd actually consider a fast break. There was almost ones that got away a little bit earlier in the game, but were fouled at the half-court line as she's not able to sink the first one. Gets her second shot here.
Normally you see a lot more, I feel like, of that up and down kind of play at this level. Nonetheless, it's still been really exciting. It's been really kind of developmental on the front, on the offensive side of things. We've seen some good shots, though, some good ball movement from both squads.
37 seconds left. We'll see if the Dons try to end up with the last possession here. Last time they kind of played the back and forth yo-yo game over in the corner. But I think Spanish Fork this time, they're saying heck no, and they're going to come up and double them, put some pressure on the, and they want to end up with the last possession in a bad way.
Yeah, and as you can see, Wasatch really ramping up the pressure. Critchfield, a little bit of a struggle, and the Dons will take a timeout here to regroup. There's a couple of free throws there missed by Wasatch that would have been kind of critical there, getting them closer back into this one. Still down 7, 32-25, as you can see on the monitor. 24.5 seconds left to go. This one has been pretty close throughout, but the Dons starting to build a little bit of a lead here.
Yeah, they're pulling away a tiny bit, and we pointed this out in the first half, but something that's just been absolutely mission critical of this game is those offensive boards, and they're still just dominating on the offensive glass. Wasatch hasn't found a way to shut that down for when the Dons do miss, which this game has actually not been all that much.
Dons have been really good on the outside and have really hit some key threes when they've needed it most, and we'll see how it goes into the fourth. If they can hold on and get this one, that'll be a huge win momentum-wise for Spanish Fork. Of course, Wasatch will have a thing to say about that as well. Dons will have it in the front court here, 24.5 seconds to go. And wouldn't be surprised unless they get an open look if they hold on to this one for the final possession.
And Wasatch is going to set up their defense a little interesting. They actually, they had 3 players that, and as they're almost able to get a steal there, they had 3 players, so it was almost a 2-3 zone coming out of the ball, inbounding that, which sets up the Dons in a position for an open 3, but they decide to dive in and are rejected.
Yeah, that was Johnson who dribbled into traffic and a turnover. Good pressure there by Wasatch, who run a trap. They're going to swing this one around. They have 8 seconds left here in the third. Dribbling around is Wonder. They'll try and get it in the post. It's a scramble. It's going to be another jump, it seems. And with about 1.8 seconds to go, Dons are going to have it. They're not going to have a lot of time to get one up here, but we will see.
Yeah, you got a pass and a shot. We'll see if the Dons have a football arm here. And they're not going to be able to get that one off, but they're not too upset about that with a lead of 7 points at the end of the third quarter here in Spanish Fork.
Yeah, Dons taking a 7-point lead. We'll be back with the fourth quarter. Stick around on Spanish Fork 17.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport. Paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Need a new car or truck? Come to the guys you trust. The Car Guys are part of the Blue Diamond Auto Group, and they have the best selection of quality vehicles at the best prices for your budget. The Blue Diamond Auto Group with the Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Fourth quarter here on Spanish Fork 17 in this exciting matchup in our Spanish Fork 17 game of the week. Visiting Wasatch Wasp, trailing by 7 to the Spanish Fork Dons, who are looking to close this one out. Both teams have played great. Dons have really been on the roll since the first quarter, and they'll try and hang on here as we start Fourth quarter of play. Loss will swing this one around. Zone has been impressive for the Dons. Played 2-3 pretty much throughout the whole game. Open shot attempt here for three is no. Oh, it is good. Wow, a little bit of luck there. Kinsley Schultz, I should say, should take that and run with it.
Yeah, they've definitely been doing a 2-3 in Wasatch. They're really, as they get a good fast break there. That one's going to be an easy basket. Wasatch comes out of the fourth quarter just swinging. So they're able to put 5 on the board early on.
Well, the pressure doing wonders here. There's almost another steal, and sure enough, it is. Pulling it up is Noyce. She's going to hand it over. And an air ball there. Offensive rebound? No.
But a fantastic effort chasing that ball out of bounds as they seal it to a 2-point game.
We are off and running here on Spanish Fork 17 in the fourth. And that's going to be a travel. One too many steps there for Anderson. Boy, this defense of Wasatch has come out in the fourth firing now. They've really shaken up the Dons.
The Dons in the past minute of this fourth quarter, they haven't been able to get a single open look on the offensive side, and Wasatch has really just shut them down. I think one of the keys of that is Wasatch's number 22, that's Grace Wonder, who's just picked up the ball right as it comes across the half-court line, as well number 4, who's been tactically aggressive from the three-point line.
And that is the tying bucket there. Rachel Noyce with the turnaround jumper. It's 7 points in about a minute and a half. And we are knotted up at 32. Wasatch has picked up the intensity here with this trap defense. Dons look a little shook. They'll try and move it around, and that's going to be a deflection there. Good defense by Noyce. They'll stick with the Dons, however.
The struggle for Dons right now is seeing if they can just get a single open look. They tried to get around the perimeter, some in the post position, saying get it here, and they decide to go to the outside.
Clark, that one's deflected. Over to Johnson. Over to Lemenick. Clark, good hounding defense. Clark, ball fake. Drives in the lane, misses the layup opportunity. Boy, she had a lane, and she couldn't convert. Wasp pulling it up now. Now they get to the post. Over in the block, it's Noyce, rebound, no good, and Anderson will pull it down.
Now Wasatch is doing everything right.
Boy, what a steal there by Wonder, and that's going to be a foul on the Dons. Boy, Grace Wonder, a big defensive play there.
Absolutely, a tremendous effort by her, and she's just able to get it in, and it's going to stay Wasp ball, it looks like.
It is. I think there's going to be a foul. And sure enough, Kayla Clark will get her first call. I think that was a loose ball foul, but the Wasps have been intense. Not to be a pun or anything, but they have been literally swarming.
Oh, absolutely.
It took us until the fourth quarter to use that one, but
yeah, I was thinking something about busy bees or going in that direction, but I think you got the right idea there. They've definitely been 100% aggressive on the defensive side as number 34 for the Wasps, Rachel Noyce, actually gets a foul there.
It just took a little bit of aggressiveness at the end of the third to really wake them up, and the Wasps, sure enough, have fought their way back into this game. Almost a turnover there. Anderson will try and get in a block, and that one is swatted away by Sari, and it's going to go to Wasatch.
Sari's happy about that call. That's the fourth turnover of the game, and the refs are going to dispute that for just a moment and call it back on the Dawn side.
It was hard to see how that one could have been Wasatch ball. Initially was the call, but Dons will keep it.
Glad they gave the sideline ref the benefit of the doubt there.
This one gets inbounded to Lemenick. They could use her help right now. Pressure coming again. She picks up her dribble. She has no one to go to. Clark throws it over. Lemenick, they're just swarming the ball, and that is a foul on Noyce.
Well, that's Noyce's second foul in the last couple seconds here, but that's kind of the trade-off that you take when you're doing these doubling up on the defense situations. She's going to have to step out of the game, and they substitute in number 24, Ava.
Pulsefero will come in. Good thing about Wasatch is they do have a lot of players to work with. However, Noyce has been a key figure for them. Official having a word here.
Now, for the most part, they've definitely had
they've definitely had mostly the same 5 people on the court and swapping out the post position every now and then, but the post position has really been going to work, whereas Spanish Fork has a little bit of depth, but they've been utilizing mostly the same players here who have really been able to put some good work together on the floor. The Wasps are just battling their way back into this game as the score's 32-32 tied up.
So quick update, by the way, Noyce picked up, that was Noyce. They just updated the scoreboard. That was their 5th foul. So initially they had 3, and now the ref's having a dispute. Coach Hayter speaking with the officials. They're trying to have a word on whether or not Noyce is fouled out here in this ball game. That would be a huge loss for Wasatch if they lose her contributions, especially on the defensive end.
Yeah, absolutely.
With her length.
Noyce has put up, at this point, 3 blocks so far, and tremendous defensive effort by her.
They're still trying to figure things out here. And while they're doing that, they might as well just regroup, and they do, both Coach Hayter and his squad, and on Spanish Fork side as well with Coach Larson. And they do finally figure things out, and indeed it is the 5th foul for Noyce. So she is done on the night. And that was a tough loss for Wasatch. They do get the turnover though. They'll try and continue on without her. Their defense has been great in this 4th. Score all knotted up, 32 each, 4:50 to go in this ball game. Spanish Fork has been excellent as well on the defensive side, and Coach Hayter is going to take a timeout here to talk things over. It's been all Wasps here in the 4th. And while they are away, let's take a second again to thank our sponsors on Spanish Fork 17. Spanish Fork 17 would like to thank Lance Wilson State Farm, Car Guys, the Blue Diamond Auto Group, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, 2 Jacks Pizza, the attorneys at law, McKell, Thompson, and Hunter, and the Driggs Mortgage team. All right, John, so 4:46 left, all knotted up. This one's been a tight ball game. What are you looking for from both squads as we near the final stretches of this one?
I think the Dons are going to have to get back in a position where they can control the glass. We saw them be so dominant on the glass in the end of the first half and the beginning of the second, and they really haven't found that rhythm off the glass and for offensive rebounds in the 4th quarter here. The Wasps on the other side, they're just going to have to continue to work that perimeter, drive the baseline, get it into open post players, but I think they found a little bit more success on that 15-foot pull-up jumper than they have from the post position in this 4th quarter.
And certainly the turnovers and the fast break opportunities have helped as well. They inbound it here. Wasatch will look to take their first lead in quite some time, and they are going to have to wait for another possession as they turn it over.
Yeah, the Wasps have definitely been able to lock down the Dons on the defensive side. They've just been a deadlocked vault, and we'll see if the Dons can finally put together some strong offensive plays. They definitely need it at this midpoint in the 4th quarter here.
Clark has been a key player offensively. Lemenick over to Johnson, down to Anderson, and that's going to go right back to Wasatch. Anderson can't get a hand on it. Got to grab that one with 2 hands. She didn't do it at this time. Wasp will try again to take this one back. It's Heath over to Schultz, over to Heath. And they try.
It is getting loud in this gymnasium.
Oh, you have both squads here. Of course, you get the JV players from both teams in full support, and they are making a ton of noise here. It is exciting as we come down to the final stretch. They finally get it to the high post. They swing it up. Here's a 3. That one off the rim, and it bounces in. Heath drills another one.
Looked like it was going to come off for a second, but the Wasps will finally take the lead. They're looking for.
I think I might have been mistaken on that one as we get another turnover. I think that actually might have been Wonder
who sunk that
3.
Yep.
But nonetheless, Wasatch with their first lead in quite some time now, 35-32. And they have all the momentum right now. They swing it over to Wonder. Over to Schultz. Over to Heath. Down low in the post to Sari.
I could have tried the exact same thing if Schultz was able to step in a little bit when they get it to that high post and work it back to the three-point position.
They'll swing it around. They can't get it to the post. They have a wide open shot here. Here's Heath. No good. Rebound down to Pulsifer. Reverse layup. Off the rim, no good. And a foul. And it's going to be on Pulsifer as she tries to gather up the offensive board. Boy, this one is tight. And with 2:37 left, it is a three-point ball game.
Wasatch has just found a way to claw back into this game. They got hot for a second there, and then as things were tied up, they were finally the ones who wanted to break that cap. And then we see here just a fantastic job on the defensive side, and unfortunately Wonder is going to draw a foul there, who's been a critical player for the Wasps.
Well, and this is where that aggressive defensive play comes into question here, because that is the 7th foul. Team foul for the Wasps, and that's going to put Clark on the line. And coming down the stretch, every point matters.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are in a bonus situation, and she's able to drop the first one. She puts another one on. That's going to bring it down to a 1-point game for the Dons trying to catch up to the Wasps here late in the fourth.
Clark has been kind of a key poised figure for this squad, and she misses the second, but does get the first one here. It's a 2-point game, 2:20 left in this one, 35-33. Wasatch is going to take a timeout. It's going to be a full timeout. And boy, Wasatch just is fought their way back into this one, like you mentioned. It's been all them in the fourth quarter. It's got to be kind of dejecting. Of course, this one's far from over, but for the Dons to hold the lead as long as they have, to have played as well as they have, and you know, immediately in the fourth quarter give it up the lead.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Absolutely. When Wasatch started out so strong, the Dons had a lot of ground to overcome, and they did that, and they did so much more, and then they just let it slip for a couple of minutes. And they had about a 1.5-minute stretch where the Wasps went on a 7-0 scoring breakaway, and were really able to kind of shut it down defensively. Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting as it's a 2-point game to see what the Dons are able to put together here late in the fourth.
So just a quick setup again, 35-33 the score. Wasatch winning by 2. And have really taken over this fourth quarter. Dons had a lead as much as 7 for letting it slip. And with 2:17 to go, 7 fouls for the Wasps, so the Dons are in the bonus. The Dons themselves, they only have 14 fouls, so they can be a little bit more aggressive here.
Yeah, they're gonna have to be pretty aggressive, but also very careful. It's a hard balance that you're playing late in the fourth quarter, and really, one thing that they're going to do that's going to help is just make every possession last as long as possible. As you see them working number 24, that's Ava, back and forth at the baseline, and we're going to see what they do with this.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of ball movement here from Wasatch. Spanish Fort's going to have to be way more aggressive than this here. We're under 2 minutes to go. Minute 45 left. Pulsifer swinging it over, and they're just going to hold pretty much until Spanish Fork does something here. They're going to have to be a little more aggressive. This one passed in over to Sari. She gets pressured a little bit. Pulsifer turnaround jumper is good, and the foul. And she's going to go to the line for an and one opportunity. What a bucket by Ava Pulsifer.
What a huge play by Pulsifer. I mean, and that is just a very difficult shot. She kind of scooped it up off the glass. I think she was expecting the foul. That is what you call a veteran move, as we see from this young ball player for Wasatch on the court here.
Pulsifer at the line. Rims off the back iron and no good. It's still a 4-point game, though. Spanish Fork brings it up court, and that's going to be an offensive foul. Johnson stuck her elbow out, too aggressive. Another turnover for Spanish Fork, and you can see tough break there, and Don's looking a little dejected here. 4-point ball game. Minute 18 to go. Wasatch seeming like they're going to take this one on the road. Driving play, layup, no good. Offensive rebound, second chance, third chance, fourth chance by Sari, no good. They're going to fight for it. Olsen can't get it. Rebound to Schultz. Wasatch is winning all the battles here, and that's going to be a foul. Dons can afford to foul. That one actually puts them in the bonus.
Yeah, they can't afford to foul. That one's going to go to the line.
Well, scoreboard operators got to
catch up a little bit.
Got to catch up a little bit here. We were at 4 just a minute ago, and so Wasps actually get a chance, and they miss the front end, but a big board, and the Wasps will take it up top again. There's a trap. Boy, when they needed it most, their rebounding has kind of disappeared for the Dons, and they're going to have to foul again.
Yeah, it's a wild card right now, sending the Wasatch to the line, who's been decently consistent from the line all game, rattled a few in, but if they do miss, Spanish Fork is really just going to have to figure out how to come down with the rebound off of this.
Well, the foul is going to be on Johnson. That's her third, and Heath steps up calmly and drills the first free throw. It's now a 5-point lead for Wasatch.
Now still a 2-possession game, and it could still be a 2-possession game after this made basket to tie things up, and that's what they are going to have to do if there's any way they're going to stay in this. Nail 2 threes or get in one, or somehow figure that out to put 6 points on the board to tie things up with 35 seconds left.
And they quickly turn it over, and it's looking like it's going to be a Wasatch victory here as they foul Schultz. Boy, the Dons really got rattled this fourth quarter, and things have just kind of fallen apart for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Dons have been consistent about their defense all game, right up until the Wasps started putting a couple things together. It wasn't enough, much, but it was just enough to get them this lead late in the fourth, and then they've kind of sealed the deal here as they drop that free throw.
Schultz at the line for the second one, and she back irons it. Still a 7-point lead, though, for Wasatch. Pretty comfortably up here. Driving the lane is Johnson, and that'll be a charge. And another turnover for Spanish Fork. So with 22.6 seconds left, you can hear the roars from the bench on the Wasatch side. JV team is loving it. It's been an excellent fourth quarter. And give credit where credit is due to Wasatch, who have stepped up mightily on the defensive side of the ball, have forced important turnovers, and have gotten key buckets here.
Yeah, they got 2 fast breaks late in the fourth, and they almost kind of gave up on that post position. They just saw that they weren't getting inside. Spanish Fork figured out how to defend that, but nonetheless, Wasatch was able to overcome even that, and they figured out how to put some offensive possessions together, and they're closing this one out.
Again, it's Heath at the line, and she will step up and drill both. Wasatch is going to take this one here up 42-33 with just under 20 seconds left. Lemenek will dribble it up court, hands it over to Sullivan over in the corner for 3, no good by Olsen, and they will foul, but it's not going to matter at this point. And if anything, Heath will add a couple more to her point total. And the Wasps are going to walk out of here with a hard-fought win.
Number 4, Heath, will be shooting 2 in the double bonus.
Heath misses the first there. Well, it's just been so impressive from this squad. It looked like they were lifeless for a while in the second and third. But they come out with an aggressive tenacity in the fourth. Really turn the tide of this ball game as that one goes off the side of the backboard, no good, and that's going to do it. So Wasatch in the fourth quarter pulls off an impressive tear to win this one, 42-33 over the Spanish Fork Dons. The Wasps will go back to 500 in conference play. Spanish Fork will fall to 2-7. Obviously a tough loss for them, given that they played so well for a couple quarters of this ball game. We will come back after the break to wrap this one up and give you a recap. Stay tuned with us here on Spanish Fork 17.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if you do, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Call McKell, Thompson, and Hunter, 801-798-9000.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
The she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, I'm Greg with the Driggs Mortgage Team, where we believe there's no substitute for experience. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
For home
All right.
team.
We're back here on Spanish Fork 17. Final score 42-33. The Wasatch Wasps pull off an impressive fourth quarter comeback and victory over the Dons and pick up a key win in League 8, Region 8 play. Dons came out in this one slow. They eventually got some momentum going in the second and the third quarter. They really were impressive on the defensive end and on the offensive end as well, making some key shots. But in the fourth, Wasatch came out with such a physical tenacity on defense. What changed for Wasatch that got them the victory in this one?
Oh, I think that first off, they were able to figure out things on the boards, and that was absolutely critical. They figured out how to kind of shut down the Dons coming away with every single offensive rebound, it almost seemed like, in the third quarter when they really had a good rhythm. Another thing is they brought up defenders who did a spectacular job at the half-court line. They were actually meeting the offense right when they crossed half-court. So I think they were able to capitalize just off their tremendous defensive effort throughout the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was something that we kind of pointed out in the beginning of the game as well, is how stout they are defensively, Wasatch, even though they don't put up a lot of points. You really saw that in the beginning of the fourth quarter. Their defensive intensity stepped up, and it really just kind of stunned the Dons' offensive progress that they had made over the previous two quarters, and they really couldn't get anything going on the offensive end.
I don't think they were expecting it, is really the thing. I think stunned is a fantastic word. There's a reason they call them the Wasps. They really came out, in the fourth quarter, and we're just absolutely ready to do whatever it took. And in this case, it was the defensive effort, but also on the offensive end, getting inside and getting a lot of scenarios where there was the N1 buckets and on the fast breaks. So, yeah, absolutely. They came out in the fourth strong. They were able to find a good rhythm, really heat up, and just put away the game.
A great effort from the Wasps on this night here, and we have to give credit to the Dons. However, they did play a great game, just a tough result for them to finish this one out. But a couple of impressive players in this one, especially on the Don side of things. Cali Johnson, number 10, and number 11, Maddie Sullivan. I think you could give both of them the MVP Sports Player of the game for their offensive efforts, especially in the second and third quarter. They really kind of helped the Dons claw back from an early deficit and give them the lead for quite a big chunk of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think anybody, and just the way it was looking on paper, things looked to be tipping a little in favor towards the Wasps, but Spanish Fork, there were definitely a couple times where it looked like they could put the game away, and in the end things fell apart a little, but they definitely kept it close throughout the duration of the game and just kind of lost it in the end of the fourth quarter there.
So with this one, the Dons fall to 2-7 in conference play. They will finish off the season playing at Salem Hills. Then they'll play Payson, Provo, and Park City. And Wasatch, after this one, they will get the chance to play they will play Park City, who is winless in conference play. So another opportunity for them to rack up a key win in Region 8 play. So that'll do it for us here. We're pretty much done. We hope you stay warm on this cold Utah evening. Again, final score 42-33. We thank you again for joining us on tonight's broadcast. Again, for John Henstra, I'm Jake R. Scott, and we're signing off here. We hope you have a good rest of your evening. And again, thank you for watching on Spanish Fork 17.